Hi everyone, it's me. If you like my channel, please like and subscribe. There's a notifications bell down at the corner that will notify you as to when I'm going live. And today I'm going to talk about a subject called minding my own business. And and minding my own business. And here's the thing. I've heard this saying for like forever, ever since I was little. And I have to say, I'm very, very thankful for the people that do not mind their own business. And I'm going to tell you why. Hi, Terry. Thank you. Um, when I was young, hi, Karen. When I was young, I'm going to talk for a little bit and then I'll address comments because I have a hard time going back and forth. Hi, Kate. So I want to talk about minding my own business. And when I was young, I heard this a lot. And a lot of times when it was said, it was referred to somebody who didn't want to get involved in a situation that should have had intervention, and such as child abuse, drug use, all sorts of things. And if people had not have mind, the people that did not mind their own business or did mind their business and made sure that their business was others. And I think that's where I'm at, is the people that made their business and minded the business of acting, minded the business of listening, minded the business of being and acting. The people like my fourth grade teacher that gained my trust enough to, the day my father was heading out of the city, um, she got it out of me, the story of what was happening. You know, she gained the trust of a severely abused 8-year-old girl, and that was hard to do with me. But she made it her business. She made it her business to see the bruises. She made it her just one moment. I'm live. I'll be there in a little while. Um, she okay, bro, it's enough. So she made it her business to to in essence be there, made it her business to get that out of me, and then made it her business to call the police, and made it her business to follow up. um she doesn't like knocks on the door. More than likely that was Gypsy, so I'll ring her later. um Gotta love live broadcasts, it's wonderful. Thank you, River. So and this weekend, it was really pointed out, I'm going to go back from like all the times that, I was literally saved by people making it their business to act in a positive manner. But this weekend, I'm up and I'm walking Rowan around the cul-de-sac, and usually the place like we let our dogs to go up and in, she was acting funny about. And I see two people coming down. Now, Rowan doesn't like people approaching me, unless she knows who they are, but she can get a little she can get a little aggressive when there's people, coming towards me that she doesn't know. And so as I was walking, I see this couple coming down, and the woman is definite. They're both older, and she's having a hard time coming down. Now, at that point, I've been in a point in my life when I was younger that I would have just been like, oh, and walked inside, not my business. But as I've lived and as I've gotten older and as I've been in some really rock and vulnerable situations, I've learned that my business is getting involved. Even if it doesn't matter whether the person, it is my business. It is my business to say something. It is my business to reach out. And I asked him, I said, hey, are you guys homeless? Because I'm me, and that's how I approach it. you know and they're like, yeah. And I was like, hey dude, I what do you need? And of course the guy was like, he responded the same way I did when I was newly unhoused or newly displaced. Um and I remember the person walking up to me really, what do you need? And I was like, home, housing. I don't. And what I didn't realize is when somebody was asking that, what they were asking was, what do you need that is within my capability to provide? And that's a really important distinction. And it's something that needs to be learned. And like I told him, I said, I feel you. I get it. Like I totally, like, it just brought me back to that point. I'm like, I feel you. and and I was like, okay, I can give you resources that we can get you on the path to housing, but I can't get you housing. Um, but what I can do is reach out and get supplies that you need right this minute. And he was like, okay, cool. And once I made that distinction, he was like, okay, we had our bedding that got wet, so we could definitely use a sleeping bag. And I was like, okay, well, there's two of you, so that. And they were just really, it was the same thing as a lot of people I approach. They ask if want to give them resources. A lot of times they will ask for the very bare minimum. And hi, Megan. And so I was like, okay, well, let me get that together. And I'm just like so awed at the circle and sphere of the people globally and all over that answer those calls for help. So I put a call for help out, of course, because I'm low on supplies. And I was like, okay, I need who can provide these things. And immediately, Kate, of course, was right there. And Brad from Seattle Homeless Outreach, which just amazing, amazing people at Seattle Homeless Outreach. And they were going the next day to go out to the encampments and stuff. So he's put a box specifically for them in his vehicle. And so in that, you know, that's being good. Like I understand that, a lot of people would think that it was their business to not make contact, would think that it was their business, wouldn't want to make that person uncomfortable, wouldn't want to, offend somebody. But I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, people in that situation are already having it rough. Asking somebody for what they need or resources is not uncomfortable. What's uncomfortable is living in that situation without those resources. It is much more comfortable to approach that person, even if all you can give is resources. Because I asked them that too. I said, so, what resources are you getting so that, I know what we can provide? And they're like, we're going through Reach. I'm like, okay. So here's what they needed. They needed for me not to blow up their spot, which means I had to be really careful because this morning I took the rest of my cookies that I had made and some sugar and some coffees. Because we had extra from when we did the encampment that was swept, so I had extra disposable cups for the coffee. So I made some coffee, got the cookies in there, put a couple little things of milk in there, and I just kind of like yelled up like, "Hey, Dave, Angie, I have coffee." And I know that, because I heard sticks crack and then it stopped. And I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure they heard. So I said it at the beginning of the trail in a conspicuous spot that, they could notice that it was there. And, discontinued any kind of yelling or anything else. And it rained, so I couldn't, jaunt my way up there. Um, but that's what minding my business is, making it my business to get involved, to act, to understand and really learn about what makes us stronger as human beings, what makes us stronger as a society, what makes us stronger as a world. And that's my business. And I know that when I see things, I try not to place myself in dangerous situations, but I most definitely will make things my business when I think that it needs to be made my business. My friend Liz knows all about that, as many of my friends do. Um, so that's really what I wanted to say. And so I hope all of you, when somebody tells you and dismisses something and says, well, mind your own business, most of the times that's a dismissal because there is something funky going on. And at that point, you should most definitely make it your business. um, Like, honestly, if I hadn't have made it my business, she wouldn't be with me. And I adore this girl right here, huh? I made it my business that you needed a home. I made it my business. Yeah, that you needed fun. She's not a huge one for being on camera. So does anybody have any questions or anything? Anything they want to ask me? Uh, I'm going to address comments now. So hi. Yeah, I'm glad you caught me live too. Karen, he was helpful without embarrassing them. Yeah, absolutely. Megan, oh my God. I definitely make stuff my business. Yes. Um, I can remember, and this is a little off subject, but I remember my first ex-husband, and I'm not a huge woman, but he was quite a bit bigger than me, and he would throw me into the walls. And it always made, and that was like his favorite thing to do for like when he'd get angry and it would get aggressive is throw me into the walls. And I remember my downstairs neighbors always laughing at it. And, and then in other situations where there was domestic violence going on, everybody was like, oh, just mind your business. She's going to hate you anyway. It's like, that's not a reason. That's not a reason. I don't care how either party feels about me. If there's violence going on, I should get involved. Like, their feelings about my intervention really does not concern me. So I think that, but I think it's also important to understand issues before getting involved and understand, and if things don't work out all the time positive, that's okay. That's totally all right. We can still act and be and act in compassion. Um, River, so true. And sometimes I need to remember this if I tell others the same to mind their business. Yeah, to me, it's a lot like the saying, pick your battles. And I my response to that almost always when people tell me to pick my battles is I just did. Like, I'm not picking battles according to your desire. I'm picking my battles. Um, she is taking up space right now. And for everybody who is new to my channel and doesn't know, this right here is Rowan. Rowan, can you say hello? And she is my service dog, and I have had her since she was 6 months old, and she'll be 3 next April. And she is absolutely phenomenal and amazing and my best friend. Um, So if there's any questions, anything, it's just kind of a chill day. I just wanted to share that, like, how intervention can help. You know, it's okay. If somebody's offended about you asking like if they need anything, it's okay to ask people if they're unhoused. It's okay to ask people if they're hungry. I've asked homed people and people like that if they're hungry when I have, bars in my backpack and stuff, and almost no one takes offense. They're just like, no. I'm like, okay. And I go wander off to the next person I think might be hungry. I don't think for the majority of us, as long as it's done without trying to push anything else, because it's very hard to appreciate any kind of help that has ulterior motives. Um, so anyhow, I'm gonna get going. Megan, I really want to snuggle Ro right now. I know, and she's so snuggly today because it's a rainy day, and I love it when she's snuggly. So anyway, I'm going to get going, and you guys have a beautiful day. And remember, post your comments, post your questions. I want to know about it. And if you want to support me in my mission, there is a PayPal link there, and there is also a Amazon wish list. Again, I will say it is personal and outreach, and I have them listed. The personal is of lowest priority. The outreach is of highest. We really need harm reduction supplies. Winter is coming and we need to get warm stuff for people. So just keep that in mind. And I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful day. And I've got tons of other subjects that are rolling around in my mind to talk about. So I will vlog later this week about those. I'll talk to you later. Bye.